For today's video, we'll be talking about adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing complex numbers. For complex numbers, we have this form. It has a specific form, a plus bi. The a is a real number. Okay, that would be a real number. The b with the I is going to be the imaginary part. Okay, so that's going to be the imaginary number in this case. Now let's go over some important stuff. If we have I to the second power, right, this just equals -1. Okay, this is just equals -1 in this case. Let's go over how this imaginary number works. We have -24 in the square root, right? We take the negative out and we put an I, right, an imaginary I. Now we just take the square root of it. It's just basically what I'm trying to say is just 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, basically 4 times 6 in this case. If we can factor out the 4, you have 2 on the outside. So we have 2i square root of 6 in this case for this answer. So this is just a review. Now let's do an example, a real quick example before we get to the imaginary part, the complex numbers. In this case, we have, instead of I, we have x, right, the variable. We all know how to do this when we're adding. All we do is just take out the parentheses, and we have 2 plus 3x plus 5 minus 4x. Just combine them like terms, and there you go. We have our answer. 7 minus x is the answer here. Now let's start off with the rules of addition and subtraction of complex numbers. First rule we have here is to remove the parentheses. That's it. Second rule, combine like terms while having the results of a, comma, b, I, comma, a plus bi. So any of this form is the rule for addition and subtraction. So let's start off with an example here. So the first rule is remove the parentheses. So in this case, just write 2 plus 3i plus 4 minus 7i. Combine the like terms, second rule, that's it. And then our answer is 6 minus 4i. As you can see, 6 is the real number, and then 4i is the imaginary number. Let's do another example here. Let's remove the parentheses by distributing the negative sign to the 7 and the -9. So it would be 3 minus 3i minus 7 plus 9i. Now second rule, combine like terms, and there you go. We have our answer, -4 plus 6i. So in this part, -4 is the a, the real number, and 6i is the imaginary part. So, and we have plus, and we have in this form, so this is our answer. Now let's go over the rules of multiplication and division rules. Our first rule in this case would be use distributive or FOIL, right, to remove the parentheses. Our second rule in this case would be combine like terms. Our third rule is replace the I squared with -1. We've seen it before, but I'll show it again when we do an example here. And our last rule, the fourth rule, would be put the results in A or B or a plus bi form. So any of these would work. So the same thing as addition and subtraction, but just 2 more rules. Very simple. Let's start off with an example here. We have 2i, right? In this case, parentheses 7 plus 4i. So just distribute the 2i to the 7 and to the 4th. That's our first rule. In this case, we would get 14i plus 8i squared. Now, as you can see, we have the 8i squared. So the I squared becomes -1. So we have 8 parentheses -1. So all we know now, our answer would be, it would just be -8 plus 14i. And this is our answer for this problem. Let's try another example here. We have parentheses 2 minus 3i, parentheses 7 plus 4i. So in this case, our first rule is to remove the parentheses. All we have to FOIL in this case. So foiling would be our option here. When we FOIL, we would get 14 plus 8i minus 21i minus 12. Actually, it should be, yeah, it should be 12. before. Should be plus 12I squared. Should be plus 12I squared. Let me fix it right now. And so when we have this, we get negative 1 plus 12. Yeah, also that should have been a negative, actually, matter of fact. So now we have this 14 minus 13I plus 12. In this case, I'm just going to do it real quick. We get our answer as 26 when we add 14 and 12 minus 13I. And so this is our answer for this problem.